welcome back to the ZmundaLand Music, Money, and Entertainment channel. My name is Devin Brown, StreetKingz PR, SME, and now ZmundaLand Music. We are music industry service providers here to assist serious independent artists who want to properly align themselves and their brands in the digital era of music. Hey, man, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about part 3 of the media-based process. But let's go back and talk about what we covered so far. We started out telling you guys the importance of the first step you want to do is make sure that you properly filled out and signed agreed upon royalty split sheet. This is how you're going to get paid. Initially, this is how you're going to get paid. All these platforms we're talking about right now is how you're going to get paid, not for just today, but this is going to be for perpetuity. So I want you guys to go look that word up and remember what I said about when you see the word perpetuity in a contract, make sure you turn the radars on and you go read and you get understanding what they're saying, because that means that either you're going to get paid forever or what you're doing for that particular company or platform, you're going to be doing it forever. So let's make sure that we getting paid. This is the portion that I specialize in. I tell everybody I specialize in media-based paperwork. This is how we're going to get you paid and help you collect 99% of your money when you initially start out in your career. So a lot of y'all been doing this for a long time. These are the steps you want to take. So we got the split sheet taken care of. You already know your royalty splits. So you've already agreed upon pretty much what you're going to get paid on the front end and on the back end. Now on the front end is just mechanical royalties. Let's talk about the mechanical royalties, because I didn't talk about it in the split sheet video. Your mechanical royalties are the streams, the money you're going to receive right now on the front end. Most of that money right now is only going to be streams. Well, you're going to get very little streams initially when you start because you're not on enough curated playlists. You're not on enough Apple, Tidal. Yes, you're on the platforms, but you're not on any curated playlists. So the importance of registering your songs up 4 weeks in advance, getting on a good release program is very important. It's going to be very important for you to do this. So once everybody who has something to do with the record sign the split sheet, it's time to step into the booth. You understand what I'm saying? So the next step, I told you guys to go ahead and affiliate with a self-help distributor so you can get your ISOC codes and your UPC codes. You're going to need those. The third and fourth platforms we're going to speak about today is Luminate BDS and SoundScan, formerly known as Nielsen BDS. If y'all heard Nielsen BDS and SoundScan, Luminate BDS. Now Luminate BDS is basically a tracking system. They track your records. They track airplay, television. They monitor your records. They look at demographics, different demographics to see purchasing trends or the way people consume our music. So this is one of the platforms I've been talking to artists about for years. And when you go into the platform and you start to read, it says it in big bold letters: artists or brands who fail to register properly with Nielsen BDS and SoundScan prior to releasing their records, they should know that their records are completely invisible to any industry professional. No major label has ever heard your song, even though you're on the major platform. So this is the part of the media base I've been talking about, these two platforms, Luminate BDS and mediabase.com. So let's talk about more about Luminate BDS right quick. So you need to make sure that you go to the Luminate BDS website, that you properly align with Luminate and SoundScan, that you request for your encodes. This is where you're going to get the encodes for your releases, so for your audio and visual releases. So right now, if you got music all over the social platforms, all over the major streaming platforms, and you never got requested your encodes for each release, for each master sound recording, then all of your releases have always been invisible in the system. I don't care if you've been doing music for 2 years or 10 years, you're all in the same boat right now. So you're definitely going to fix this. So what you're going to do is you go on the website, they're going to give you an email, you're going to request your encodes, they're going to need your government name, a good contact number, your email address, and your label name. 2-3 weeks, you should receive your encodes and a password to log in to set up your account with them. Now they're going to be tracking your records. That's why I always tell you guys, like, it's bigger than just releasing a song and putting it on a major streaming platform. You know, it's a lot of other things they look at. This is the path. This is another pathway to the billboards. A lot of artists say they want to make the billboard charts. You will never be on the billboard charts until you properly align with Luminate BDS and SoundScan. Okay, so it's bigger than just releasing the records. You got merch, you got bundles, So they're tracking all this stuff. They're tracking your website. So you have to properly align your brand. The fourth step is properly register with MediaBase.com. MediaBase.com is kind of like the same way, like I say, with Luminate BDS. They're tracking your airplay, your records, and different things that's going on with your records once you release them. And airplay is very important. Airplay is very expensive. But right now, the most important thing is going on there and properly aligning your records with BDS, so you are being tracked and you have a history of sales whenever your records are spinning on these major radio stations or your local radio station, especially out in Northeast Texas. A lot of artists I know, I hear your records all the time spinning on the radio station. But when I go to look for your records and how they registered up in Sound Exchange and other media-based platforms, those records they don't exist. We can't find your master sound recording. So definitely make sure that you guys are going in and you're taking care of your paperwork. Luminate BDS and MediaBase.com. Third and fourth steps in the process. And we'll be right back with more media-based information. Next, we're talking about Sound Exchange and how you guys have to properly align your master sound recordings in Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is how you're going to collect all of your internet stuff and your non-interactive streams. So most of y'all are focused on that front-end royalty, not knowing that you got another royalty on the non-interactive stream platform that Sound Exchange is supposed to collect, but you're not properly registering your master sound recording. So nobody is collecting that money for you when your records are spinning. Hey man, we appreciate everybody that's tuning into the channel. We're gonna keep dropping this music business info in 2023. Our message is still foundation over fame. That hamster wheel, you've been doing the same thing for a number of years now. This is the digital era. This is the digital process. This is the way you're gonna set up your music. And I'm just talking to the aspiring artists who tell us that, and they sending a social signal on the social platforms that you want to be recognized as a serious independent in your independent artist or brand in your market. You will never be recognized in this system as a serious independent artist until you go and take care of all your foundational things. So yes, we're talking about BDS, Luminate BDS and BDS.com. So I'm gonna start with the Luminate BDS, formerly known as Nielsen BDS. You guys have to contact them and you have to request your ENCODES. They're gonna want your government name. You got to send your business, your email, a good contact number for you, and the name of your label or your brand, and then you're gonna send Luminate BDS an email. In the subject of your email, you want to put virtual ENCODES. So make sure you guys go out and check out the Luminate BDS website. Make sure you guys get properly registered and request your ENCODES for every release that you've ever released. You need your ENCODES to properly encode your music. Now, when you register your music with your self-help distributor, it's going to be 4 weeks before that record drop, right? So what I do is the day that I register any record for any artist that we've ever started to work with, I think we're doing the same thing a lot of the major labels are doing. I mean, our music, we start to stream our music the day that I registered over with the distributor, even though it's not going to release for 4 weeks. So you guys got to learn to get ahead of the game. But this Nielsen BDS and SoundScan, which is now Luminate BDS and SoundScan, make sure you go and get properly registered with those guys. Like I said, Luminate is going to track your records. It's bigger than just putting a song up on a major streaming platform. It does no good. All that hard work you guys been doing over the years is really for nothing when the industry has never heard your records. The only industry professionals that are hearing your music or anybody that's affiliated with a larger brand, the only reason they're hearing your music because you're paying to be in their presence, like I said. And there's nothing wrong with being in certain places and positions, but when you're in those rooms, when you somewhere with celebrities, you definitely want to have the knowledge to be in that room, because when people start to hear your conversation, you're not speaking the lingo that they speak in. Hey, you're really walking on some dangerous grounds, because they're going to take advantage of your ignorance to music business and how it works. You guys got to start researching this shit. So Luminate BDS and SoundScan is a must. You're currently invisible in the system until you go and request your ENCODES. It takes 2 or 3 weeks for you to get all the ENCODES, for you get the ENCODES for your record. So go ahead and do that. Like I said, you're on that time clock from the date that you go in and register with that self-help distributor. The time clock starts then, because we got 4 weeks to make sure this record is completely registered up correctly before it go live in the system. Now let's move on to media base. This is going to be part 4. Put it in one video. Part 4 is media base. Make sure you go and affiliate with mediabase.com. They track the airways. They're going to be tracking the airways, your airplay. So if you've never registered correctly and properly with mediabase.com, all of the records that have ever spin on the radio, those records are currently invisible. Those records are currently invisible in the system. So you just when you go take a song to your local DJ, and I'm gonna just use East Texas. Y'all go to the Blaze. A lot of y'all been on the East Texas homegrown for years. I've been hearing records, and I hear some of the independent artists in the market. Your records are on the radio station all day, every day. But when I go to look for you in the system, in Sound Exchange and the places where you're supposed to be, your records are not there. So they let me know off the rip. Like, if they don't have Sound Exchange, I know that the brands don't have Nielsen BDS, and they never register properly with mediabase.com. So they are definitely invisible in the system, and you're throwing the equivalent of 20,000 streams every time your song spins that you never gonna get paid for. So we got to get all this stuff in line this year. And if you've been doing it for a while, you're definitely gonna stop right now and go fix all this stuff, because it's gonna be more and more expensive for you to pay somebody to go and register up all your master sound recordings. You also have to affiliate with, now let's go back to the media base before I go too far. Like with this mediabase.com, once you go in there to register with media base, like I said, they release the charts and different analytics about your records and the demographics where people are purchasing your music. There's a lot of different charts that media base is going to release to industry professionals, and industry professionals come in to look at the charts to see how well your records are doing. So when I say you guys are running to the larger brands and they don't want you, they already can see your current digital picture. In this era, that's why I say it's about numbers with me. When you're doing well, they're going to see your numbers. You don't have to go running to the major brands. The major brands are supposed to be running to you and your corporation. But you got to set yourself up like a corporation first before you can go on this big journey to nowhere. And this is just it, man. This is the digital era. You're going to be set up like this. If you plan on having any type of success in music moving forward, this is the way you're going to be set up in 2023. It's the digital era. A lot of artists calling me, telling me what they're doing in the streets. You better drive all that traffic that you got going on, this big ass invisible fan base that you have, and all these celebrity people that you're surrounded by every day. You better start driving a lot of that traffic to the social platforms. You need the support on the social platforms. Larger brands are looking at brands that are already doing what we're talking about right now. I seen a video yesterday, and it's a guy that was on Sway in the morning. He talking about the same exact thing that we've been saying for 15 years. So he on Sway talking about when you initially start, you're gonna have to register with a performance rights organization. Then the next step, he skipped a lot of steps. And he's on Sway. So I'm telling people, take advantage of the things that we're telling you and just go fucking do it. You know, nobody's trying to sign you. Nobody is trying to take advantage of you. You don't bring anything to the table right now, but you can rap. There's millions and millions of artists out there that can rap, but it ain't a lot of artists out there right now that are set up like foundation artists in 2023. So, hey man, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in to the channel. Once you've properly affiliated with Luminate BDS and SoundScan, you register properly with mediabase.com. I'm gonna be coming back with the next step we want to do. We're talking about Sound Exchange and the importance of you signing up with Sound Exchange. StreetKingz Promotions, SME, and now ZmundaLand Music. We are music industry service providers. We're here to assist serious independent artists who want to properly align themselves in the digital era of music. You know, I'm challenging all independent artists. You can hear me, especially in my market, but any artist that can hear us in the market. The time is now to properly align your brand. The time is now to incorporate your brand. Appreciate everybody that's tuning into the channel, man. We're going to be releasing a lot more knowledge for you guys in 2023.